This morning, Senator Roy Blunt was in town. As you know, Congress is on vacation, but they're concentrating on this, all right, and Senator Roy Blunt had some things to say about what could be one of the biggest conflicts of the summer, and that is the North Korea conflict. Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, saying, yep, basically this is President Trump speaking in the language that Kim Jong-un understands. What's your take on that?
I agree with that. I actually don't fault the president on this, and I think the fact that he's willing to make a statement like that diminishes the likelihood that we'll have to deal with this problem in that way as opposed to some other way. This is what this guy understands. He is reckless, has been very vicious with his own so-called inner circle, not to mention the absolute repression in the country. But he's reckless. You know, I'm on the Intel committee. We deal with this. I don't think I'd be suggesting anything that shouldn't be suggested to say the last 6 months, probably not a topic we've talked about more than this, because it is concerning. These people have lied to 3 American presidents in a row and now have gotten to this point. And the message that the president sent was for him, but it was also for the neighborhood, and particularly, I think, for the Chinese, who should have been listening. And at some point, people in North Korea should be listening and figuring out just how dangerous this guy is to them as their leader, but I don't fault the president at all.
Yeah, and so what happens next, in your opinion? And again, you know, I think the sad part is that we have certain people, Republicans and Democrats, who immediately, reflexively come out and decide their biggest problem is with the president and his language, as opposed to reality that we face with North Korea and its setting its sights and its threats.
Well, you know, I know Senator McCain, who's in a fight, and there's lots of reasons to admire John McCain, and I do, but it's only a couple months ago that he referred to this guy as the crazy fat kid that runs North Korea. Not probably a person who should be talking about temperate language. And by the way, this young guy is not crazy, but he is, we don't believe, but he is reckless.
Yes.
And trying to establish maybe his control of that country in a way that says, look, I'm not near as old as my dad was or my grandfather was when he was in charge, but I'm every bit as tough as they are, and don't assume I'm not. But it's, I think it's important not to take things off the table. Presidents over the years who've been most successful in foreign policy, like Reagan and Eisenhower, never took things off the table. Now, they didn't speak in that exact language, but they both always made it clear that the United States would do whatever the United States needed to do. And in his own way, I think that's exactly what the president's doing, while others like Rex Tillerson and at the UN and other places we work these other channels, they should not assume that we're going to continue to let them do whatever they want to do and then try to blackmail us out of what they might do.
Right.